Joining me on the program now is Margie Vincent, and she's here to tell us today about her involvement with the Family Centre in Romania, which is an organisation which was founded in 2001 to prevent babies and children from being placed into state orphanages. Good morning, Margie. Can you hear me there?
Good morning, Lizzie. I sure
You
can.
can, yay. Yippee. The wonders of Zoom and all that carry on. Lovely to meet
Yeah.
you. So thanks for joining us today. I feel like you've got quite a big story. We won't get to cover it all, but I know that you're quite keen to get in front of people and come and present the story. So just give us a bit of an outline. Back in 1999, you went to Romania. Tell us about that, Margie.
Sure. Well, I went for a 1-month visit. Their plan was to be running training in foster care and social work. So it really was when Romania was just first looking at alternatives to the thousands of institutions that they have.
Yeah.
So when I got there, nothing had been set up. And being a Kiwi girl, I thought, well, I'm not just going to wait around. So I ended up volunteering in an orphanage, which certainly was not. That just was so not on my radar. But God had a much bigger plan, I tell you. So I volunteered in an orphanage, ended up staying for 3 months, and it was during that time I had a big moment where God said, would I come back? And my response to that was yes. So I returned the following year and continued working in an orphanage, but in a different city. So there were 7 orphanages in the city where I was.
Yep.
And I had another really big moment when I saw some babies being delivered from one orphanage to another. And I just happened to glance out the window when that van arrived and they, unloaded these little ones. So my cry was, God, what can I do? And that's when the idea of the Family Centre began.
Yeah.
Place where families could come to for support so they didn't
Yeah.
abandon.
So I think it was 30 odd years ago, wasn't it, when everything sort of
It was a scary, for me or?
and in Romania where everything changed, and I'm just thinking, and all those images turned up on the TVs of those poor neglected children in Romania. But you actually went there. I mean, that must have been pretty shocking, I would imagine, when you first got
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so it was 1989 when Ceausescu, the then communist leader, was assassinated.
Yes.
And so I remember vaguely too seeing those images on the Paul Holmes show, actually.
Oh.
I wasn't a follower of Jesus at that time.
Okay.
And so, I was distracted with lots of other things in this, this great old world.
Yeah.
However, it was 10 years later that so that was 89. I beg your pardon, I was a Christian. Yeah, I was, sorry. But it was 10 years later that I went to Romania. So still there was multiple orphanages. The situation of the orphanages were beyond belief. I remember clearly the first day I walked in, and Lizzie, I just was repelled by everything that I saw and just wanted to run.
Yeah.
Yeah, but God, turned me upside down, I tell you.
I love that. So tell us, what does the Family Centre do in Romania?
Yeah. So our whole focus is to support families so they don't abandon. Yeah.
So that's still a big thing over there, children being abandoned?
Yeah. So into the orphanages, but now mostly into state foster care. And that is very, very scary.
So why is that? Is that financial reasons that people are...
Lots of poverty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots of poverty.
It's a complicated answer. There's many aspects to that, but one of the big drivers is poverty. Yeah.
Sure.
So the Family Centre is about providing just the most amazing environment where families can come to, and from there we provide a bunch of services. Lizzie, the services are not unusual for here in New Zealand. So we do social work, we do parenting courses, we do a cooking class, we do a mum support group. We run a daycare, which is quite pivotal for really high risk kids. So parents don't come and live at the Family Centre. It's about a place where we provide those services from. But the difference is the love, and it's Christ's love that makes that difference, and that is what impacts. So yes, we're practical, but we're also very much about sharing God's love.
Yeah.
Mm.
So if it's a financial thing and these people are obviously going there and getting resourced sort of mentally, emotionally, spiritually, how does that sort of help them financially just even to provide for their kids?
So the financial part we do is we do a little bit of food distribution, and that's happened since COVID.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and we do assist with some medical things. We do assist from time to time, school things when kids go on to start school. We're not. We've intentionally not been big on material and financial aid.
Sure.
Our focus, yeah, that's not our focus. Our focus is the practical
Yeah.
in terms of parenting skills and
Yes.
the environment. Yeah.
I would imagine if the sort of the culture there is to have a child and give it away to foster care or whatever you do, that people aren't being taught parenting skills. Is that right? Apart from like what you're
Right.
doing?
So, Lizzie, most of the families that we work with are mummies and a few dads, but most of them are mums who grew up in the orphanages themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is so huge. I can never find enough words to say that. So what we hear a lot, and you would have seen the quote on our website, no one showed me.
Mm,
So the orphanage is not a place where you learn anything good, I tell you. It's so these mums are now trying to parent out of not much, because what happens is when they leave the orphanage, they continue to be traumatized, they continue to be marginalized,
yes.
and there's no one. They have no one. And
Wow.
so that's huge.
That is
So
huge.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I read on your website back in 2001, you prayed, God, what can I do? And this is what you have been
yeah.
doing, obviously, with a group of people for the last 23 years or whatever it is. And so your heart, Margie, is that you're wanting to get in front of more organisations and come and share about this. Is that right?
Indeed. Yeah. I'll
So
talk to
you'll
anybody.
talk to anybody. So if a church or a community group or a bowls group or who knows, a school group or whatever want
Yeah,
to hear, you would love to come, right? And share.
I won't. Yeah. We've got a great story, and it goes lots of places, and it's a great story of, yeah, and it's not just my story, which is the beautiful thing.
No,
It's the
I can
story. Yeah.
I can tell we're just touching the tip of the iceberg here.
Yeah.
So tell me, you've got this event next week, Paint for Purpose. There's still tickets available for that?
There are. So we're doing a gig at. It's going to be hosted on Thursday, the 25th of July,
Yep.
from 6:45 to 9:30. Yep. So if it's a night where I'm going to share the family centre story. We're going to get a little paint on.
Little
There'll be
paint
some
on.
refreshments. Yep.
Sounds fun.
um, there'll be a little auction. So it's not a huge event, Lizzie, but
No.
yes, we still have tickets for sale. So people can just phone me, perhaps.
Okay.
I can give you a phone number.
Yep. Tell us that
Yep.
now.
Yep. 021 555 169, and I can give them more info. The
Okay.
tickets for that are $39 per person. We have had a couple of people say, "Hey, I can't come, but I'd like to sponsor a ticket." So
That's a good
there's a
idea.
couple of options. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's taking place at Central location. It's just around the corner from us here, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Central Vineyard, which is just in Grey Lynn, next Thursday night. So, as Margie said, the phone number, if you want to call her, if you're in the area and want to get tickets or sponsor someone, 021 555 169. Otherwise, people can look up on your website, find out all
Yeah.
about it, and contact Margie if you'd like to get her in to speak. Just give me the name of your website again, Margie.
Yeah. So if they just Google the Family Centre Romania,
Okay.
they will find us. So the Family Centre Romania,
The
they'll
Family
find us.
Centre Romania, which I'm doing right
Yeah.
now to see that that actually works. And it does work. Do that. Hey, Margie, thanks for coming on the show today and really wonderful to catch up with you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Lizzie.
Thanks for joining us today. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can catch all our interviews on Star. See you next time.